Hi, everyone. It's Candace Craw-Goldman from quantumhealers.com. And today, I cannot tell you how excited I am about today. Today, I have with me William Brown, who is a psychic medium and channel. And I have his lovely wife, Dr. Allison Brown, who's a BQH practitioner, a Reiki master, and an author. Welcome, my friends.
Welcome, everybody.
So, we're going to do some pet channeling today. And we set this up a little while ago. And in the meantime, they told me what I should do to prepare for this. So I sent Will and Allison 5 photographs of 5 animals, 4 cats and a horse. I've got a kind of cat drama and cat situation going on here. And we're going to kind of just see what they have to say. Now, you guys tell me how this is going to work. Let our audience know how this is going to work, because after we do this, there's so many people out there who are going to want to talk to their own critters. So how does this work?
Well, it's super exciting because it's the information that they have for us and the connection that they make with their owners is so heartwarming. It just moves me to tears very often. But what's going to happen is Will induces himself. Prior to this session, he came up and meditated with your animals to go ahead and establish that connection. Other than that, he does not know the questions, so he doesn't know what we're going to ask. There was no preloading of any information. Takes him about a minute to bring himself into a complete trance state where he won't remember anything that goes on. So when he comes up out of the hypnosis or out of the trance, and we're excited and we're talking or we're crying or whatever we're doing, we have to fill him in. Remember that he doesn't remember any of it. And so what I would ask for the audience members and for you, Candace, is as each animal, as we call in and make a new connection with the new animal, watch the body movements and his mannerisms, and you'll notice, you especially because they're your pets, you'll notice the differences in their personality and the behaviors.
Okay, so let me ask this before we get started. So with this, let's call it drama or situation I have here at home with these, particularly these kitty cats, are they in sections like this and there's not any back and forths? Because I'm kind of, right. So that being said, I have absolutely no idea who should start first in the feline group, shall we say. How will you choose which one? I mean, because that'd be kind of cool, actually. Who wants to come first and say something?
And typically they come in as a collective.
Okay.
And so if one presents first, we'll speak to that one first. If not, I have my questions already in order and we'll just go with that.
Perfect. Well,
okay.
Let's get started. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for this, by the way. This is going to be fascinating.
Wonderful. So what I'm going to ask of you, Candace and Allison, as we sit here and we prepare for this channeling, I'm just going to ask that you center into your heart. Take a couple deep breaths, allow your energy to really start vibrating and really get that energetic connection really built up. And as Allison said, I've already been meditating on your animals, so I've already felt them starting to kind of bounce in. So this should happen pretty quickly. So I'm going to do a little bit of breathing, and that's how I enter into my trance. So just give me a second while I do that. We are present.
Thank you. We're so honored that you're here with us. Who is we?
The energies of Odin, Delilah, Sammy, RuRu, LunaBelle.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'd like to call in Delilah, if I may, to ask a few questions, please.
Hello.
Hi, who are we speaking with, please?
Delilah.
Delilah, you look very happy. Are you happy?
I am.
What makes you so happy?
It's interesting doing what I'm doing. I'm speaking to you all in a way that I'm not used to, and it's rather exciting for me to do. It's also exciting because I get to voice the things that I normally get to talk to my mom about, but these is in a way that she will understand.
And what would you like to say to your mom? You know, she's here with us.
Yes. I thank her for taking care of me, as well as all the many other animals that she has with her. I enjoy all of the other animals. They're so exciting to be around. There are a few that I don't quite necessarily get along with, but it's okay because we all understand each other's energies, and we're always next to each other, and we're always getting in mischief, but we all understand each other's role in what we are to be around.
Speaking of, who are the animals that you don't necessarily get along with, as you said?
There's one in particular. I believe his name is Odin. He's a bit of a troublemaker, and he tends to get others in trouble as well. And it's just that he tends to act up a bit, and I sometimes get caught up in what he's doing, and then we all get in trouble, and it's not much fun.
I see. Okay. What about RuRu? How do you feel about RuRu?
RuRu is interesting. She has a particular energy that's a bit complicated. It's one that's uncertain at times. So you're not quite sure exactly how she's feeling at the moment. And it's at one moment she's happy and excited and playful. And the next moment she's kind of in your face, and it doesn't mix well with me.
I see. Okay. And what about the newcomer, Sammy? How do you feel about Sammy?
It's such a warm, loving energy that he has. He's so loving. It's almost as if there's a big play toy around.
Oh, so you enjoy him?
Yes.
Good. So you do enjoy having friends around?
Yes, it's always exciting to have multiple pets and energy and all of that around us. There's so much to be around. It's always fun to play in that energy, and exciting to just kind of roam and be free and just be ourselves.
Thanks. It sounds like you are with a perfect family for that then, but your mom does get worried about you sometimes. Do you know to stay away from the road, that it's kind of dangerous?
It's not that I know to stay away from it. It's certain things do frighten me at times, but I'm just very curious, and I like to go everywhere I can possibly go. And I know sometimes my mom, she doesn't quite like that, and it makes her upset at times, but it's just in my nature. I just like to roam, and many of the other animals that she has, they like to roam as well, and they like to go places where they shouldn't. That's just kind of in our nature. That's our energy. That's who we are. But there shouldn't be any fear in that. Just understand that we do take care of ourselves, and we do look out after each other.
Well, that's really good to know. What about predators like coyotes? Are you able to avoid them?
The best we can. We do sense them. They put off a particular energy that we sense. I know that there's been others that have been taken by the coyotes, and it wasn't pleasant. But we try our best to stay away from them. It's sometimes not that easy, but we do our best.
Well, that's really good. So with regard to all of the animals on the farm, do you all communicate with each other?
Yes, we do. It's not in a way that you would understand, but and it's not in the way that I'm speaking to you now. It's more the word. It's in a way that is silent. We talk to each other in a way that is, we understand that we're there next to each other and we're able to communicate. There aren't necessarily words that we can say, but it's just that we know we're there and we sense each other and we understand each other's energy.
And would you say that you also speak to each other telepathically or just read each other's energy?
Yeah, yes, that would be the word that I was looking for. Yes.
Good, thank you. What about with your mom? Do you speak telepathically with your mom?
Yes, of course I do. All the animals speak telepathically to her. She's very interesting that way. She understands us in a way that many others don't.
Very good. She'll be happy to know that. Delilah, your mom took in your kittens. Are you okay with that? Do you understand what happened?
In a way, yes. They had to be taken care of. And I may not necessarily have been the best mom, but I know that they're in best care now. I know that she's taking care of them.
Very good. Good, I'm glad. So have you had any other incarnations as other animals?
I've only been just in the cat. I've only been a cat. Multiple times, but only been a cat.
And have you primarily been an outdoor or have you also been an indoor cat?
I have been an indoor cat. I don't much enjoy that.
No?
I like my freedom. I like to go where I want to go.
Well, that's good to know. That's good. Delilah, are there any medical issues or any concerns that your mom needs to know about with you?
Not at the moment. There's no concerns at the moment. No, I'm in good health.
Well, that's really good to know. I'm really glad. Delilah, before we go and call on some of your other animal friends, is there anything else that you really want to tell your mom tonight?
You just understand that though I may give you a scare every so often, I love you and I always want to be around you. You provide the best for all of us. You give us exactly what we need when we need it. And just understand that I'm here for you just as much as you're here for me. And I love you so much.
Thank you. And that does remind me, I understand that animals have an assignment when they come into a particular family. What was your assignment with this family?
It's just as much as what we've already said, that there's times that I give my mom a scare. It's to just understand the patience that it is to be a pet for someone and just to take my time at things and try to listen. It's also for them to understand that we do like to go where we want to go. It is the nature of the animals that she has. And so it is kind of patience on both sides.
I see. Well, we are so thankful that you came to speak with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Delilah. At this time, I'd like to call in Sammy, please.
Hello.
Hi, Sammy. You look very happy.
I am. I'm extremely happy.
What makes you so happy?
Just to be here. It's fun. There's so much energy to play in. There's all kinds of energy to play in around this house and around all the other animals that I'm with. It's just full of energy, and it's always fun just to play.
Well, good. We're happy that you're here with us. What would you like to tell your mom?
keep taking care of me and giving me the toys I like. I enjoy all the toys that you give me, and you throw things for me and you allow me to play with things. And sometimes I don't play with the things I'm supposed to. But it's okay, because that's just who I am. It's just all the energy that I have.
Well, we love your energy. We're excited to talk to you. I have a question for you. Are you in any way energetically related to Samson?
This is a very familiar energy that you speak of. I don't have a clear picture and understanding of exactly what you're looking for, but yes, the energy is extremely familiar when you mention that name. I just don't have a placement for it.
Well, thank you for checking. What about physically in this incarnation? Are you related to Samson or Delilah that you know of?
Yes, I believe I have a connection to Delilah.
Can you elaborate on that connection? Are you able to tell?
This would be, but I don't. There's two mothers I don't understand. I have my mother that's with me all the time that takes care of me, and then there's another mother I don't understand. I see two mothers.
So do you mean your human mother, Miss Candace, and also your cat mother?
Yes, that would
Okay.
be it. Yes, that would
Okay.
be correct.
And so are you saying that your cat mother is Delilah, or?
That's what I see. That's what I sense.
Okay, well, thank you for checking. What other incarnations have you had, Sammy? Have you always been a cat?
No, I've not always been a cat. I've been another bigger animal. There's several other bigger animals that I've been. One is big and furry. I think you call it a bear, a big bear. Ooh, and there's one other animal that's strange. He likes to play in the water and the muddy water and roll around in it. I don't know what that animal is.
Is that a hippopotamus?
No, that's too big. This is smaller.
A platypus?
No. Oh, wait. I think you call it a pig.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I think it's a pig. Yep.
So you've been some large animals. How does it feel to be in this little body now?
It's strange. I sometimes try to stretch as if I'm a big animal, and it doesn't work out. I stretch more than I want to, and it's rather uncomfortable.
I see, I see. Well, I love your energy. You're so much fun. Tell me, why did you come at this time? What is your assignment with this family?
To show energy, the playful energy. There was some energy that was needed to be playful in this house, and I'm here for that. I'm to show the energy that needs to be playful and understand that there's always time for play.
Wonderful. That's exciting. I think humans could learn from that, right?
Yes.
So I know that you're new to the earth. Do you have any kind of medical issues that we need to be aware of at all?
The left side of my nose is a bit stuffy.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm okay.
Good. Good to know. All right. What do you think about the food you're eating?
It's interesting. It's okay. It's enough to sustain me for now.
Okay.
There's certain things that I have been given that I truly like, but I know that I can't have them all the time, but that's understandable.
What does that look like? What are they, treats or?
There are certain things, certain treats, but there is also some stuff that comes off of what they eat, what my parents eat. And I probably shouldn't be eating it, but I eat it anyway, and it's really good.
Human food, you mean?
Yes.
Aha, right. All right. Well, we are so thankful that you came in to speak with us. Is there any other message you'd like to get across to your mom while she's here?
Just enjoy my playful energy. I like your energy. Your energy soft and cuddly, and I always want to be in it. But also enjoy my playful energy, because there's always time to have some fun and play.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call in RuRu, please.
Hello.
Hi, RuRu. Thank you for being here with us. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay.
RuRu, do you have any idea how old you are in human terms?
I have no idea how old I am in human terms.
Have
I
you?
sense that I'm quite old, but I don't sometimes show that.
Are you feeling well?
At times I feel a bit sluggish and slow, but there are times that I get really excited about things. There's one little playful kitty that comes around, and that energy is so playful that it just livens me up, and I really enjoy it.
Is that Sammy, do you know?
Yes, that might be.
So Sammy's little energy helps you.
Yes, it does. Anytime there's an animal that has an extremely high amount of energy, it helps all of the elderly animals that are around. Their energy is being depleted just because of their age. But when there is a young energy that is around, it helps liven us up, rejuvenates us for that little bit, and makes us feel like we're a little kitten again.
Oh, that's wonderful. Have you ever lived with humans during this lifetime before you found your mom?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I was living with them. I was in company of them, and they provided for me, but I wasn't necessarily living with them. Not like I'm living with my mom now.
I see. And so what brought you to this family at the time that you came?
It was what I was assigned to do. There was a certain intersection of time that we've made this understanding, and I was brought into this family just to be part of the overall energy of the family. What you have to understand of the energy of this family is, one, that it is extremely deep and extremely strong. And it is where all animals would like to come to be comforted and just enjoy their last time here. It is such a comforting place to be. You don't necessarily have to run and play and jump and do things. You can just relax and know that you're safe and comfortable.
And so do you understand that your mom loves you very much and wants you to feel safe?
Yes, I understand.
And do you trust her?
I do trust her.
Are you going to be able to physically show her that you trust her?
This might be a bit difficult. What you have to understand is, just as you asked, have I lived with humans before? I have been outside most of my life, and I've been in the presence of humans, and they have provided for me. But I have not been close to humans. And so it will take some time. And it is something that what you have to understand is there is a layer of communication that you are providing to me, and I understand it. But I am a bit apprehensive to come forward and provide you my energy back. Keep working with this energy, keep working with this communication, and I will become close to you. It may not be as close as some of the other animals that you have, but understand this, I am loyal to you. It is my assignment to be with you. It is to be in your energy and have you understand that though there may be a disconnection of the loving point of this animal, I'm still here for the loving point.
What happened to cause that disconnection?
One, not being around the humans, being outside for most of my life. I've had to provide for myself. I've had to be on my own. And so being around humans is not necessarily the most comforting thing for me. I understand that you provide me the food and the comfort and the shelter that I require, though I'm able to seek that on my own as well. But it is something that in time I will get used to.
Thank you so much. And do you think that after having this conversation in this way with your mom, that relationship might be easier?
I would ask that to have her broaden her understanding of my circumstances. And this would be for all animals that you take in. And broaden your circumstances of why you have this animal. Broaden your understanding of their energy. Deepen this connection. And provide the space necessary to allow us to come close to you.
So RuRu, do you think then that you'll ever be able to be friends with Delilah?
This may be difficult. In time it may be, but right now, no. I do like to be on my own.
So that would be the same regarding the indoor cats like Nikki or Odin?
Yes, any of the other animals I'm a bit apprehensive of, as well as they're apprehensive of me. Understand that because I am apprehensive, it is a certain level of energy that I am putting out, and they understand this. Though they are trying to comfort me as well, but it is not allowing that comfort to be received.
Understood, thank you. So you know that your mom found some good loving homes for your babies. Are you okay with that?
Yes, I understand. It was what was needed.
Good, thank you. Thank you for that. So apparently you make a lot of noise. You're calling or making noises that sound like you're calling out. Are you calling to someone?
What you consider a noise is me just vocalizing where I am and how I'm feeling at the moment. It's not necessarily I'm calling anybody in or calling for someone. I'm just merely vocalizing how I'm feeling at the moment. And this is what we do when we're out by ourselves. It allows us to allow others to understand how we're feeling. And those that we are connected with will come around. And those that do not understand who we are and what we are will stay away. For the most part, many of the other animals do stay away because they're not quite familiar with who I am and the energy that I have. But I understand this. I'm okay with this.
Very good, thank you for that. So apparently you have some issues with your teeth. Can you tell us how that happened?
Some of it has to do with the diet, the food that I eat or that I have eaten. It is not what I'm being provided now. But there have been other injuries that I've sustained as a younger cat throughout my time. And that is the situation with the teeth. And there are some that are sore and painful. And though I may not let you care for them, I'll be okay. It's just the nature of who I am. I'm very, very independent.
So even though you're in pain, it's okay that your mom doesn't take you to the vet about that or bring a vet in because you won't allow it?
I will not allow it because it is how I would normally take care of myself out in the wild. There aren't vets to take care of us out in the wild. We have to manage on ourselves. If it gets to a point at which it is that bad, I will allow it, yes. And you will know, you will see the signs that I am relinquishing my power over to you.
That is good to know. Thank you. And, you know, for feral cats, they need their teeth to be able to defend themselves and hunt. And so that's why your mom is concerned, and she wants to make sure that you'll stay close where you can eat and be safe. You understand that, right?
I understand, and I know that you are providing all that you can for me, and I do appreciate it.
Are there any other medical conditions that your mom needs to be aware of or that you would allow her to treat?
None at this time, no.
Good, thank you. Have you had any other incarnations as other animals, or have you always been a cat?
I've only been a cat, yes.
And have you always been an outdoor cat?
Always. I've never been in the presence of humans.
So does that make it all the more difficult in this incarnation for you to be able to adjust to humans since that's your history?
Not necessarily. What you have to understand is from lifetime to lifetime, existence to existence. Some of the things that you would think would necessarily be what would be in me now would come from that existence. It does not. We understand the existence that we've had. We understand what we were. Some traits, yes. Personality-wise, yes. But overall aspect does not carry through.
That is good to know. Thank you for that. Since you did say that your mouth is somewhat in pain, can you talk to us about how animals or cats experience pain?
Pain for you is something that is an indicator, and it has a certain reflex. For animals, for the majority of animals, when they are in pain, they will exhibit that they are in pain, but it is not necessarily a true indication of how severe the pain is. There is the ability to be injured and have an immediate reflex to the pain, but then it is then disconnected so that the body itself can start to repair and heal. If it remains in the pain state and the reflex state, it has a difficult time healing. So it is disconnected from the pain itself. It does not, as you would think, register with the animal. Now, if you go to the animal and you manipulate or work with the injury, yes, it will inflict some more pain. That is just because you are working with it. You are moving it in a way that it wouldn't normally be moved. But in nature, the animal itself understands the injury, understands the nature of the injury and what it is to heal. And they disconnect from the pain and allow the body to heal the injury.
That's wonderful. Thank you for giving us that understanding. Before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to tell your mom tonight?
I understand that I may be difficult, and there are times that you are frustrated with me. But understand that I am completely humbled by your offerings, all that you provide for me, all that you offer to me. I thank you so much for that. And I thank you for the abundance of love that you provide to me. It does not go unnoticed. I do love you, though I may not show it in the most affectionate way.
Thank you, RuRu. We're so thankful that you came to talk to us.
And thank you.
At this time, I'd like to call in Odin, please.
Hello.
Hi, Odin. Looked like you were trying to get used to this new body, perhaps.
Yes, this is quite intriguing. This is something I have not experienced before. It is most interesting that I'm not in my normal self, and what I am saying is not what I normally hear. So yes, it is quite interesting.
So when you go to speak, what does it normally sound like?
It is what you would, the meow that you would hear, that is my voice that you would normally hear.
And so now you're hearing human words.
Yes, it is as if my mother is talking to me or my father is talking to me, and yet I'm able to speak in the same words.
And that's exactly what's happening. And that's why we're so thankful that you're here and we can talk to you in this way and understand you better.
Interesting.
Do you have an incoming message for your mom while you have the opportunity? She's here with you.
First off, thank you for everything that you provide. Thank you for all that you do for myself and all of the other animals that you care for. I understand that I am a bit of a handful, and I understand that many of the other animals do not take to me well, but that is fine with me. I try to hold myself as who I am and be in my space when it is necessary.
Do you feel that you are a dominant cat?
I do feel as if I do have some overseer role of many of the other cats and some of the other animals. I do feel as if I am, as you would say, dominant, yes, but not in a way that I must control all the other cats, just watch over them.
So more of a protector?
Yes.
You've also been known to be kind of grumpy. Do you think that's accurate?
if it is to be one that does not get along with others, then if you call that grumpy, then yes, I would be considered grumpy. I don't consider myself that, but if that is what is being perceived, then so be it.
How do you feel about the newcomer, Sammy?
His energy is a bit much. He will come in line, but it is just young. We are all that way when we first start out. It is just getting used to all of the energy inside of the body, the playfulness, the bolting here and there, chasing things. But in time, he will settle. He will become very easily managed.
Good. There's a little bit of a fear that you might harm him, even accidentally. Do we need to worry about that?
Keep an eye out. I have a tendency, yes, to be a bit forceful. I don't mean anything by it, but it is just who I am. So keep an eye on my whereabouts and understand that I mean nothing by it. I mean no harm. It is just who I am.
And what about RuRu? How do you feel about RuRu?
RuRu is a bit different, a bit distant, and I understand this. We have communicated, we have an understanding of each other. There isn't much else. We keep our distance from one another. We try not to interact too much. And when we do, it may not always be of nice terms, but it is who we are.
So your mom needs to watch out for you too also?
That would not do any harm, no. And it is always good to keep an eye on all of us, as we all do get into a bit of mischief. And I understand her concern with me and my forcefulness. Sometimes I don't fully understand my strengths. I don't mean any harm by it, but just keep an eye out, yes.
Thank you for that. What about your dad, Samson? You never really liked him either. Is that accurate?
This is correct.
What was the problem there?
He too is a bit forceful. Might be where I get some of my tendencies. Though I always felt as if I was bigger than him and wanted to separate myself from him as fast as I could. That is all I have to say about that.
Thank you for answering. We appreciate that. But you are described as a people cat. Is that an accurate characteristic?
If that's how you characterize it, yes. What you have to understand is this. All of your animals have the ability to sense the energies of all the beings that are around. If we enjoy the energy of someone, we'll make our presence known. Some may be fearful of the humans, but for most, if they sense the energy is a comfortable energy, we will gather around them. We'll intertwine ourselves with your legs. We'll want to get up on your lap, but don't push it.
Thank you for that. So your mom would like to allow you to go outside a little bit more, but she's fearful that you won't stay in the yard. Can you speak to that, please?
This probably is a good reason not to allow me out. I do like my freedom because I understand what it is to run and be free all throughout all of that property. There is much to explore, much to chase, much to get in trouble with. I'm comfortable in the house, I am. And there are days that I sit and I yearn to be outside around the other animals. but I am very well taken care of. So I'm at peace with the fact that I have to stay in the house. If you wish to take me out, be mindful of me, be around me. But I may take the chance to go and run.
Thank you for that information for her. Can you tell me, have you had any other incarnations as other animals?
I have several, as you would say, incarnations of much larger cats, bobcats, mountain lions, larger, much larger cats. And this may be where some of my personality is coming from.
That makes sense. And even in this life, you're a pretty large cat, I understand.
Yes.
Would you consider yourself to be an old soul?
That particular term does not have an understanding. If it is to say that what I bring over from the other existences and my understandings of what I was and how I handled myself, then yes. But if there is some other meaning that you are looking for, I don't quite understand.
That's okay. That's fine. Thank you for that. And do you have any medical issues that your mom needs to be aware of that she's not already aware of?
There are none at this time.
Thank you. That's good to know. Can you tell us about your assignment with this family? What was your mission?
To understand the balance of power. There's always, in any combination of animals and humans, there's always a balance of power. There is an exceptional balance at this particular point. There are times that the balance is off, one side or the other, but that is necessary. As we get into trouble, the human, my mother, must provide a bit more power. There are times that I show my dominance and my power, and that is acceptable as well. So it is just to understand the balance of power between the animal and the human, and what it is to have that type of energy balance.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Before we go, do you have any final messages for your mom?
Understand that I do love you so. I am extremely grateful to be in your presence. I'm extremely grateful to be provided for each and every day. You provide all that I need, the comforts of it, what it is to be here with you. And I will show you as much as I can how much I love you back.
That's so sweet. Thank you for that loving message.
Thank you.
And thank you for being present with us tonight. At this time, I'd like to call in LunaBelle, please.
Hello.
Hi, LunaBelle.
Hmm.
I've never spoken to a horse before.
You haven't?
I have not.
Well, this is interesting.
It is. Is it interesting for you as well?
It is. It is different. I'm not quite sure what to understand of this. It is quite interesting to be present this way.
Well, we are certainly thankful that you're here with us and your mom is here as well. Do you have a message for your mom?
Hello, Mom. Thank you so much for being here and allowing me to do this. This is quite interesting. There's so much to explore. There's so much to see. And thank you so much for everything that you do for me and do for all of the animals that you have. You're such a wonderful mother for all of us.
Thank you for that. You know, you're quite willful and unique. What do you think about that?
Well, it is just that bit of me that is why I'm here. To show that even though I'm unique and a bit willful, you have an understanding of how to manage that. You have an understanding of how to take control of that and settle that down. I will be a bit challenging because it is who I am, of course. And I do enjoy being who I am.
Well, I'm glad. I'm really glad. Your mom and dad, however, were very gentle and very cooperative, and you are not like that at all. How is that possible?
It's my personality. It's who I am. It's just who I am. I will be who I am. I will want to go where I want to go. I will want to play with what I want to play with. I understand that sometimes it makes my mom and my dad not so much happy, but there's too much to explore. There's too much fun. There's too much stuff to do. So I have to do what I want to do.
You know, though, your mom would love for you to be her riding horse, and she's very disappointed that you can't be. How do you feel about that?
I do understand this. And I understand there's a certain bond that you wanted to have. But you have to look upon it this way. The expectation is one that you had to be able to saddle me and ride me wherever you wish to ride me. But there's another understanding in all of this. There are many factors to life that you have to understand, that expectations aren't always what are the outcome of your wanting. It is sometimes given to you in a way that be right in your face. It'll be put into your face and you will understand that some things cannot be controlled. Some things cannot be saddled and rode endlessly. I understand my energy is high, and I understand that I don't listen to you all the time. There may become a point at which I will settle a bit, and you may be able to coax me. But for now, there are lessons to be learned, and I am your teacher. There are lessons that are to be learned that are just below the surface, and you must look for those lessons. I will be sure to teach you.
That's lovely. So is one of those lessons about managing expectations?
This is precisely one of them, yes. This is why I bring up the fact that there are expectations for many things, for many humans, as well as many animals. We have expectations too. My expectation was one to be free and just run everywhere I wish to run and not have someone saddle me.
I see.
And I understand that at this point, that is what is taking place. But at some point, there may be that mutual agreement once we understand ourselves on a mutual level.
And so, did you have any other assignment, or was it just to help teach some lessons?
The primary assignment was to be a teacher. Not only to my mother and not only to my father, but others as well. There is much to be learned from one that is, as you say, willful. There is much to be understood that also conveys over to the humans and why they are so willful at times of what they do. So yes, my primary role is to be that of the teacher.
Thank you. And we can respect that, and we appreciate your honesty. That being said, all the other horses, including Elvis, have had jobs and you do not. How do you feel about that?
At times I feel a bit special, which is okay with me. I don't mind being special. But there are other times that I do feel a bit sad because I understand the energies that are given off by the other animals, the other horses that do have jobs, and they look upon me as being different. But I have to understand who I am, and I have to just love who I am and be who I am. That is not to say that I may change in time, but right now, I do feel special. I do feel different. And I'm okay with that.
Beautiful. Thank you. Are you interested, however, in doing work like agility or learning tricks or anything like that?
It looks to be fun and I would enjoy it, but not at this point.
Thank you for that. What about working with Natalie? Are you interested in working with Natalie?
Yes, there is an agreement that we have. We have spoken to each other, but the time hasn't married up yet to when this will take place. But we understand ourselves mutually and what we are to do.
Thank you. While we can appreciate your willful nature and your independent streak, there is kind of a need to be cooperative when it comes to medical care, loading you into the trailer, and ground training. What can you say to your mom about these things?
The best answer that I can provide to you is this. For each of the other animals, when it is time to load into this trailer or do any other work, you convey a different sense of energy, but then you step towards me. And there's a bit of an apprehension, there's a bit of energy that you put off. That is much different than the others. And so then it changes my energy. And I may become a bit defiant because I wish not to play with that energy. I wish not to be around that energy. What you must understand is that all animals, all humans, all convey a certain amount of energy, and it changes from moment to moment. You look upon it as being a mood, but that mood has a particular energy. And if it's no fun, we don't want to play. So, if you could, show me the same type of energy that you show the other animal when it comes time to this type of work. I may change my attitude. It may take some time to get used to, but that is what I wish to convey.
Thank you for that. And so is that also the reason that you have an issue with shots and needles and exams, or is there something else going on?
I don't like that at all. That is no fun. Why would someone want to do that? I don't understand. So yes, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around those individuals that want to do that to me. That is not fun. I want to have fun. That is what I'm here for. That's to have fun. Why can't we all just have fun and play?
You do understand, though, that in order to have fun, we need to keep your body healthy so you live a long, healthy life. And that is the purpose of the shots and the medical exams. Do you think you can understand that moving forward?
I will try to understand this. I
Thank
thank
you.
you for giving me this information.
Right. No one.
Can you provide more information? Can you, when you are ready to do this to me, I understand that you talk to me and you comfort me. But it's almost as if you're warning me that this is going to take place. And I think that's where I get scared. And so when I'm scared, I don't want to do anything. So if you could find a way to comfort me differently, and I'll try to react better. I am sorry.
That's okay. No apology necessary, but we just want you to understand your mom loves you and would never want to scare you or harm you. And the only reason that animals need to have shots or medication or exams is to make sure that they are very healthy and can live a long, healthy life.
I understand.
Thank you. Tell me, does Mama Belle communicate with you since she has transitioned?
That's an interesting question. The easy answer is yes, of course. You have to understand that just because another animal has passed away, or even a human that has passed away, we talk to them all the time. We see them all the time. We see their energies around all the time. They quite never leave. An aspect of them, a bit of them, is always with us, especially the ones that are extremely close to us. We understand that sometimes the humans don't quite understand this. They don't quite see them, but we see them all the time, as well as many, many other energies that are around your place. You have more than you understand.
So that was the easy answer. Is there a more complicated answer? Do you specifically communicate with her for information?
Yes, I do. I get comforted by her when I'm a bit anxious, but she understands my personality. She understands how I am. And as you say, I'm a bit willful, so I sometimes ignore what she says.
Thank you for that. Have you always incarnated as a horse? What else have you incarnated as?
I don't see anything else. So this would say that I'm here for the first time.
Wow. How do you like being a horse?
Well, it's interesting because that's all I know. And it also might be why I am the way I am.
So you have an interesting perspective then. Tell me about the incarnation process for you. What happened on the other side that prepared you to come down to this incarnation?
As you already understand, there is the assignment that we are given to be with you, this family, in this animal. So it is just that. We know at a particular point that it is time. The energy bundle that we are is then cleaved off. It is then brought down into the newborn. It is then brought into existence. We bring forth all of that energy. We bring forth all of the understanding, similar to what happens with humans. But with the humans, you have a particular path that you have an existence of. For us, we are assigned, and we are given an assignment to fulfill with a particular family. That particular assignment may not take place right away. We may be temporarily assigned with other humans or left out into nature. But at some point, we are married to our family, our assignment family. And in this case, it is that patience. It is that understanding of the willfulness that I have, that I exhibit, and the teachings that I am here to provide.
Thank you. That's an interesting perspective. And so when you're in that energy bundle, I think you called it, is there some excitement when you know that you're going to be assigned?
Well, that is difficult to reference. As you are part of all one energy, there isn't necessarily an excitement or lack of excitement. It is the knowing. It is the understanding of everything. And you are observing all that is. And it is at a particular point, you are then cleaved off. You are broken free. And you know it is your time. That's when the excitement happens. The moment before you enter into that newborn, the moment that you enter in is when it is exciting. Because you are there yourself. You are part of everything, but yet you are here physically. And it takes a bit, and you understand where you are. And then it is pure joy to be here, to be alive in this body, in this existence, to live this life.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. And so it sounds to me like animals don't have quite the same level of the veil of forgetfulness that humans have. Would that be accurate to say?
There is no veil. They are directly connected. They are still connected. They are always connected. They have an understanding that you cannot comprehend. That is why they can sense and see and interact with all the energies that are around them. That is why they sense and feel and know the energy of the humans that are around them. Sense and feel the energies of the other animals before they even are present. They understand all of this from that energetic level. There's no need for communication. There is no need for any of it. It is all one. We are all of the same existence.
That is beautiful. And so tell me then what happens at the time of transition when you leave this earthly plane and are taken back up into that energy.
We understand that there is a limited time in the physical existence. And at the moment that the physical existence ceases to be. It is very similar to our entrance in as we depart that physical existence. There's a bit of joy, there's a bit of happiness, and there's a bit of expectation of what to expect when we are reunited with one. But once we are reunited, we are awash with everything that is. It is not we go up and tell stories of what our existence was here. They already know the stories. They already know the existence. So why retell it? You are then part of one again, the all, waiting to be reassigned. Just enjoying that existence, that energy of all.
So beautiful. Thank you. Tell me then, you have, it sounds like, a reputation of being able to read the minds of humans, like Jessica or your mom or others. Is that true?
Yes, many animals have this ability. It's one, sensing their energy, and two, if they're able, being able to communicate this way. Communicating without words is what is done most often.
Telepathic?
Yes.
And so in your case, is it working both ways where you can understand them and they understand you as well?
Yes. It is both ways. Yes. They understand me. I understand them. But there is a slight disconnect between that of what is being said and what is energetically being given off.
So you're saying their energy doesn't necessarily match the words sometimes?
This is correct. This is sometimes where the imbalance comes in. You are telling me to be calm. You are telling me to relax. Everything is okay. I love you. And I understand that. And I'm grateful of that. But yet the energetic reference that is there, what is being exuded, does not quite match that. There's an apprehension, there's a tenseness, almost as if you were afraid. So then it becomes difficult to understand which is greater. And that is where some of my, as you say, willfulness comes in, because I'm not quite sure how to react.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And I think that the fact that we've all had this conversation is going to help that communication in the future.
Yes, I believe so.
Thank you. We are so thankful that you've been here to talk to us tonight. Do you have any, well, let me ask you, do you have any medical issues that we need to be aware of before we go?
I have no concerns, no.
Good, thank you. And do you have any final message for your mom before we go?
To understand that I am sorry that I am not what you have expected. I am sorry that I'm not able to be what you've expected. But understand that I truly do love you. I truly do love that you provide everything that I require. I know that we will have a much better understanding of one another. It may take some time, but through this, I have a much greater understanding. And I am thankful and grateful that this took place.
Before we go, let me just ask, do you have any favorite treats that we need to be aware of?
I do like my fruit. I do like apples quite well. The bigger, the juicier. I do like those.
Very well, very well. Well, thank you again for being with us this evening. And we want to thank the entire 5, the collective that came in to talk to us. Thank you. We're most appreciative.
And we thank you.
Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Let me just focus.
Yep, yep.
Oh.
That was a strong one at the end there, so yeah.
Whew.
That was really fun.
Wow.
LunaBelle was awesome.
I'm just sweating from head to toe right now. So I feel like I just ran a marathon. Whew.
Maybe you ran a quarter mile at Belmont or something. Since you LunaBelle. My gosh, how incredibly delightful. How incredibly spot on you were with all of them. And I have to say, I mean, I don't know how much debrief you all want to do here, but what joyful confirmation for me to be spot on with absolutely every one of them. And I'm happy to go. I mean, do you want feedback?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes.
We can
please.
talk all night. I love this.
Oh God. Oh my gosh. Okay.
This is the fun part of it right here.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So before, for the audience's sake, I'll say this before we even pressed start. We talked about how pre-recording this, so we would just kind of get it out. That's not happening. And here's why. As you were doing this, in my mind, I'm already editing in images and video clips of these animals so that these people who watch this show can see how these animals match the things that you said and the way that you described them. And I want to show some of their character while you're doing this. And so this is going to be fascinating. So
wow.
To start with, you have to know, so Delilah is the first cat that you talked to, Delilah.
Okay.
And Delilah has this energy where she's and she has this thing with her tail where she goes like this and flicks it, this little thing. And you were doing that with your hand. You were going like this and you were flicking, like you didn't do that with any of the other animals.
Wow.
This is how you started with me, was showing you were with your, I think it was, it was your right hand. That was her tail. That's what this cat does with her tail. I was watching you. I'm like, look at what he's doing. And you didn't do that with any of the others, right? I mean, this is just astonishing. Astonishing.
You know what was really funny was Odin, and he came in so proper and big. His energy was so formal, just like, I'm here.
Oh God.
That was neat.
All of them. And okay, so let me review something. You just saw their photos and their names. Is that true?
That's it. That's all. Matter of fact, I'll show you.
Yeah.
If I can get it. My fingers are working. And they're not very big either. That's all I meditated to. Oh, sorry. Let me put it up here.
Yeah. So I sent those images. Well, for the people who end up watching this, they're going to have much better images of this. I'm going to cut in some images and maybe some videotape of this because it's just so incredible. the things that especially the way she just tiptoed like this. And of course I couldn't tell till you were doing the next cat whether that's like cat energy that comes through you. No. It was just her energy, and that was her. So that was astonishing. And then you talked to Sammy, and
he was so cute.
He was so amazing. And he was a pig and a bear. And actually, when like animal rolling in the water, when you first said it, in my mind, I already saw a pig. I mean,
oh, cool.
You were like hippo and something else.
Platypus.
And I'm like, no, it's a pig, right? and it was a pig. So, I mean, I'm like, just through the screen, I'm continuing my conversation with these animals. And that was amazing. And the playful energy, oh, that was amazing. And actually, so I was upstairs while you were meditating, I'm sure, while you were meditating, Will. And I was in the room where RuRu is right now. Mm-hmm. And I actually took a little video. Allison, I sent it to you via text messaging. It was just a brief, you might not even have seen it yet if you're.
I didn't see it yet, no.
No, but I sent you because I'm looking, and I took it because during this time when I was up there, there was like an extra relaxation from her, and she was looking at me, and there was a shift in her energy already, and I'm looking, and that's actually why I took the video, because I'm like, I bet he's looking at her photo now and prepping for this, because she's just changed. She's just shifted. Everything in her eyes was looking at me differently. Yeah. Or more deeply or something. I haven't had this cat very long. Because
I think you'll notice that afterwards now, because one of my cats that I was going to put down, and it was the reason that this whole thing started.
Wow.
And after I got done talking to him and he said he wasn't ready to go, wow. He has been so much more loving to me, and I've had more compassion and understanding. He'll just go slump in my lap now. He's so relaxed in my lap. It's amazing.
And I will say that during that meditation, I'm not just, like focusing on, I literally focus on their name and their image for 2 or 3 minutes before my music starts. And then I fold it up, I put it on my chest, and I just lay there with it on my chest. And I ask for their higher selves to step in. Yeah. And you're not the first one that said that. We did a channeling for an individual that had an ailing dog. And she showed the dog right before we started. And it's like limp so on peaceful. The floor, right? Yeah. And she said, as soon as I started speaking, that dog jumped up like he had renewed energy and just was like looking around, trying to figure out where, what he's supposed to be doing. So
I almost can't wait to go upstairs and see everybody, but because this is so amazing. But everything that, even that, again, the confirmation is so beautiful, because I don't call myself an animal communicator, but I live with them. I adore them. I have been communicating my whole life with them, and nothing that you said was off, even by a slightest little bit. It was all of what I got, and in some ways deeper or expanded in some different ways. But with Ru, it was great. I knew that she'd been around humans. I knew that she'd had an accident. I knew she was used to taking care of herself. And oh, some little critter just bit me. I don't know what that was. I'm sorry. There must have been, I think there's a fly down here. Excuse me. What did it want from me, Will? No, never mind. You don't have to get into the energy of that fly. I know what it wants. There's nothing down here in this basement for it to eat, so it was attacking my ankle. Anyway, this poor cat, when she just got neutered, so she had the kittens, and Sammy is one of her kittens. So, but I'll talk about that part in a minute. And of course, I don't know how much you remember of any of this, Will, but everything about her was great. And she had the most relaxed day anyway, even kind of going into it, the most relaxed since she's been here. And that one was the most gratifying for me, because that's why we're even doing this, is the whole bringing this cat in who is feral, who has been wanting to run around, but she can't she can't even really hunt. I mean, the reason I even have her is I caught her eating my chicken food. She was eating chicken grain, and she got into a bird suet feeder because without those teeth, she has no canine and front teeth. There's no teeth there. Wow. And they were broken when she got neutered. Jessica's the vet, and Jessica took the ones out she could, but actually I told her we were going to do this. She was like, well, find out if any of those teeth are still hurting her. So that's why I had you ask that question, and it was a really interesting answer. And I especially liked the way the answer ended, which was all no. And I knew that too, but all no, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it. She'll let me know. And that she can love me from the way that she's going to love me. All of that was just spectacular. Going back momentarily to Sammy and the two mothers thing, and then asking whether or not Sammy was related to Samson or Delilah. So we have a joke that so many of these cats are all related to each other because there's so many out here. And I know that some get, dumped, but also there's so many out there that are feral. And RuRu and Delilah look awfully similar. That's number one. That was really, really interesting about the two mothers thing. There was like this.
Right.
And I'm still, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to think about that one really, except for when I was getting the two mothers thing, it made me feel like RuRu and Delilah, maybe first cousins or something like that, or come from the same lineage because they look so similar. So that was some of my thoughts there.
And I was thinking that because Sammy's so young, Sammy didn't understand that you have two moms, a cat mom and a human mom. So that's where my mind went with that.
Right. Right. And they look so similar, but they really haven't, they haven't been nose to nose, these cats, but they know who's here and they've seen each other. And I've, of course, all of that, but they certainly haven't had a free for all because I'm monitoring them very, very closely. Watching Odin come into you, Jessica, my beautiful friend Jessica, who will be watching this, she said, she says it's one of the things I love about Odin. He's just bigger than life. And his whole body is like that. And I've always thought he's been bigger cats. He's either been a mountain lion or a tiger or a big cat. And that's exactly what you said, bobcat and mountain lion. And I'm like, that's why. And he's Delilah's. So those are the kittens I took from Delilah. At the time, I thought, actually, I had no idea because they were in a hay thing. They were abandoned and they were tiny. And well, long story short, I ended up bringing one and then the other in. And then later I became friends with Delilah. But Odin and Kismet, they were siblings. They were identical size. But I bottle fed Odin. Kismet was still out there for a little bit. He ended up being 22 pounds and long haired. They were the same size. I have a picture of Tom. I'll cut it in right now. A picture of Tom holding these two kittens. They're identical. They're the same size. And then we'd set them there hoping the mother would come. And that's how I ended up bringing one in and not the other. But she's only like 7 or 8 pounds, Kismet is, and Odin's 22 pounds. Good grief. I know. Well, I think it's because I was very enthusiastic about bottle feeding him.
Yeah.
Have some more milk, Odin. But he is so big, and he comes into a room just like, and when he came into you, that's how he comes into every room, and he's very very much like an overseer, and
that's what he said.
Yeah, really? I'm an overseer. Yes. And it's I thought that I can already see my whole family say, look, the overseer's coming into the room.
Oh my gosh.
What a treat. And I also like she better be watching me when that happens. She better be monitoring that situation. You said that a couple of times. I'm like,
that's too much.
Oh gosh, that was spectacular. And then, of course, LunaBelle. Do you know I'm getting ready to say something about LunaBelle right now, and I'm getting chills all over. So many chills because I have said this horse has never been a horse in another life, guaranteed. she does not think like a horse. She doesn't act like a horse. I've been around horses since I was born. I know how even willful horses, even stallions, even rodeo horses. I've been around rodeo horses, like bucking broncs, kind of big, giant horses who have all of this power, and stallions and studs. I've never met a horse like this one, like LunaBelle, ever. I've just never met any.
Oh.
She thinks differently. I say this about horses. You can handle even sometimes the most willful, even in the biggest of horses. Just, what are we, 120-pound humans, and horses are 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 pounds even. They're big animals. You have to have their cooperation. One of the ways we as smaller humans can do this, of course, is communication, of course, cooperation and all that stuff. But some of it is what I have found. I've always said it's like playing chess. And as a human, you can kind of think like 2, 3, even kind of 4 steps ahead. Some of the things you do with the horse to kind of get them to what they need to do. Most horses can do 1 or even 2 steps. The smartest of them all can do maybe 3. I've never seen a horse that can think ahead as many steps as far as humans trying to get a horse to do something as this one. I've just never seen it. I've never seen a horse put so many things together and do some things. And by the way, we just had the most amazing cooperation with them, because with her and the vet and Natalie. Natalie's the vet assistant, the vet tech. Jessica's the vet. And on the way here, this only happened about 3-4 weeks ago. On the way here, we were hoping to take care of LunaBelle's teeth. She hadn't let us near her mouth even for like the last 2 years. While we were taking care of everybody else's teeth, she just wouldn't have it. And some of it is because of the sedation, so that you can put in the equipment and file down their teeth, and all that kind of stuff. She wouldn't have the shot. She just wouldn't have it. And Jessica's always said, and I've always said, well, she'll let us know. She'll let us know. She did have 2 injuries where she actually walked up to us and allowed us to do things. But this is a horse we've taken care of here together for more than a decade. And she needed her teeth done. We knew it. And Jessica, on the way here driving, mentioned that they were having a conversation and they came up with a plan. And Natalie walks in, and the whole plan just 1, 2, 3. It exactly worked. Exactly. LunaBelle agreed to no needles, because she wouldn't have that still. She agreed to a mild oral sedative while Natalie and Luna were talking, which is when, Will, you said that they'd spoken and they were coming up with some plans about what they might do together at some point. And I believe that's when that conversation was taken, or what took place. And then with that small amount of sedation, which this is not really done in the horse world. They put this big metal thing, it's called a speculum, in their mouth like this, and it cranks open their mouth like this. It's this big contraption that goes over their face. Most horses really need a reasonable amount of sedation, because this is like, really, it's like putting a big metal trap around a horse's mouth. That doesn't play well for instinct and survival, right? But Luna, the one who's willful and doesn't cooperate very often, with the small amount of oral sedation, allowed the speculum to go into her mouth, and they floated her teeth. I took photos, because it was like the whole time all of us are going, I was crying. We were all crying, and we had grins the size of our heads on, because the conversation had happened, the communication had happened exactly the way, Will, you talked to Luna about. So that was brilliant, fascinating to know. And I already knew that about the energy. And the thing about it is, it's funny, because you go back and forth. I already knew this. We all already knew this. Some people, horse people, who've come in and have said, oh, I could take care of that horse. So like, no, you can't. she'll outsmart you, and you cannot, like Natalie says, you can't bully that horse. A lot of horses, humans can kind of do this and kind of get their way. LunaBelle shuts that down instantly, just instantly. And most
Humbles you very quickly.
yeah, most people, I've even had horse people, I had a horse transport person once say, I've never not been able to load a horse in a trailer. And LunaBelle looked at that. I saw LunaBelle take a look across the driveway. She just went, I got your number. And after three hours, this was when we were moving from Texas to Kansas, 3 hours later, he was sweating and he just gave up. And I knew that I had to come up with something different. And what I have said about Luna ever since then, which has been 11 or more years now, that she did not come in to be a riding horse. She came in to be a teacher. I said the exact same things. And I said, not just for me, which is the exact thing you said, Will. You said, not just for her. She's going to be a teacher for everyone. This horse has taught the people around here who've had horses and the vet community who've taken care of her. It's astonishing the things that we've learned from this horse. And I've always known that was her assignment. You know, I was dreaming about a horse that I slept out in the barn the night she was born, to be there the night she was born. And I was thinking, you know, I was playing the kind of the Black Beauty thing in my head, you know, but the childhood thing of a horse from the minute they're born and being their partner and their ride. No, I mean, I've ridden her like twice, each time for like 2 minutes, and this is just not who she is. But she's been the most incredible teacher. She's been one of the biggest animal teachers I've ever known, and this was such an incredible honor to be able to speak with her this way. Will, what an amazing connection and talent you have, and I don't say that lightly at all.
Thank you.
I thought it was really neat what Luna said about willfulness and how it relates to humans. Mm-hmm. And when adults have willful children, perhaps we can think about them in a different way, and that they are our teacher as well. So, and Luna even kind of alluded to that, to the child, you know, the human aspect of willfulness. And I thought that was really, really important. And hopefully, since we had a long talk about the shots and the needles and the exams and why it's necessary so they can play for a long time in a healthy body, hopefully she'll be more cooperative.
You know, just to be clear, you know, I asked lots of questions, and the bare minimum of the needles are used around this farm. You better believe it. And medications as well. I'm far more interested in things that are natural and the least amount of invasive procedures or medications or inoculations of any kind. You know, that's important to me for anybody out there who might have been thinking that I'm, you know, that I'm lining them up for every available shot for every available year, whatever. That's certainly not the case. As a matter of fact, I have a big powwow with my vet about it every single year. It's like, okay, let's talk, you know, and but I understand that there's you know, there can be some middle ground there, shall we say, and it's working fine here at the farm.
Cool.
It just, I'm so stunned. I'm so excited. I can't wait to produce some images to go with some of this and release it out there so that everyone else can see this story through the eyes of, that was a lot of animals. Well, you really, that was intense. And that was like for an hour and 15 minutes or so. Is that
what it was?
A little more than
I don't know. To me it's like 2 minutes.
Oh my God, you just went on and on and on, and I'm just tickled.
It was so much fun. It was such an honor. Thank you for allowing us to connect you with your pets, because they were amazing.
So impressive. Just one more thought about horses. Those people out there who really, really know horses, most animals are mirrors, but horses may be the clearest, most sparkly mirror for humans that there are. Truly, people who are riding instructors or who know horses well know that somebody who gets on a horse with a certain amount of energy or attitude gets on a completely different horse than one who gets on with trepidation or fear or a need to dominate or whatever. We see it very, very clearly. And it's one of the reasons horses are used sometimes for disadvantaged or at-risk youth, or youth who might have, just as an aside, let me share this wonderful thing. Before I ever got into really any of this work, and I was down in Texas, I was taking pictures of some nonverbal, severely autistic kids who were being shown the horses and able to interact with some very gentle ones. And there was a young man who was there, and he was he just stayed away, and he was probably the most distant and the most disconnected from all of the people and the animals. And he just was just like this. And at one point he went over to this horse, and he actually took his arms and he laid on her, and he held her. And this young man, he probably was 16 years old or so, and his mother was right there. And she just burst out laughing, because he never did that to any other living being, not to his family, not to any other living creature. And I happened to capture it with photos.
Amazing.
Well, it was why I was there, was to photograph this interaction. And so this thing, horses in particular, are so amazing about being able to really sense that about people. And so you doing this with a horse, I guess, was this your first horse then?
Yes, my first horse.
Well, we've got 2 more horses and a donkey for next time.
Yeah, I was hoping we could connect with the donkey and see the differences.
Oh, you're going to love Elvis. Oh, you are just going to love Elvis. I can't wait to do this again.
Awesome.
I don't want to take up any more of your time. I could chat all night long about this.
We could too. Yeah, we could too.
It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Blessings.
Candace.
Thank you.
Tell everyone how they can find you and how they can set this up to talk to some of their own animals.
Awesome.
So the best thing to do is to contact me so that he doesn't see any of the questions or any of the correspondence. And that is at Allison, ALLISON .Brown at drallisonbrown.com. And that's DR and then my name.
And if you would like to actually sign up for one, if you want to actually get the process started, you can go to palmandlotus.com and you'll see our list of services.
Perfect.
So, yep.
That's so perfect. And I'll be sure to put those links below. Thank you so much again.
Thanks, Candace. It was our pleasure. Love you.
So much fun. Okay. Hugs to all. Bye.
Yep.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So there's a little bit of a follow-up I'd like to give. So here are the horses. Here's Elvis the mini donkey, Harris, dark brown forest pony. Rio is the sorrel paint horse. He's the oldest of the bunch. And you've already met LunaBelle. One of the first funny things that happened after recording this show was that Elvis brayed and brayed at me as soon as I opened the door. I think he wanted a turn to talk that day, and he didn't want to wait. Luna, too, greeted me with many calls and nickers and wanted extra belly scratches that evening. Some of the video clips that you have already seen playing during the show were recorded immediately after the communication, like the one of Odin, who is so extremely affectionate and insisted on lots of kisses and pets to my face. We're already calling him Overseer, and he's been a very good boy. Delilah has been as sweet as ever, meeting me as soon as I leave the house and has lots of extra love to give. And I've noticed now, just lately, that Sammy has the same kind of tail as Delilah and holds it in the same way, even in the same direction, and flicks it kind of in a similar way. Now, RuRu is definitely Sammy's mama, but energetically, he has a lot more in common with Delilah. I bet they're connected in more ways than we know. Sammy is nothing but pure kitten joy and maybe the most delightful part of my day-to-day life right now. I definitely take the time out to play with him, and I'm grateful for every moment. RuRu has
really softened, and that happened right away. She still doesn't want me to pet her, but she's getting closer and closer to me and doesn't spend near as much time underneath the bed as she had previously. As a matter of fact, the night after the channeling, I woke up to find Rue sleeping on the bed, right next to my knee, and that was a first. Luna seems to know that our understanding of each other has deepened. I think what she really wants to do is practice more communicating with others like Natalie and Jess. All in all, I cannot be more happy with the connection Will made and the communications that were shared. The validations I received from knowing Odin's previous lives as big cats, Rue's people history, and the fact that this is Luna's first time to the planet as any sort of animal, as a teacher for humans. All of these things were incredibly wonderful and heartwarming. I know that we all communicate with our pets in some way, some of us more than others, or deeper than others. But to have someone step in and assist in this communication can be extremely valuable, and frankly, it's just so much fun. I have worked with a number of animal communicators over the years, and I must say that Will Brown is by far one of the best and most accurate I've ever known. And I just know he's going to get even better at this over time. Thanks again, Allison and Will. You are both treasures, and I love you very much.